Hello everyone, this is Locke and welcome back to another video on the Great Build YouTube channel. And today you'll notice that there's a chunk of the city missing. And that's because I'm beginning to work on the mountain project. So today we're going to take a look at the first part, the first step anyway, to that part of the mountain. So let's get right to it. So I wanted to start at the back of the mountain to show the process behind what each of the sections of this mountain project will look like. So that way I can focus on the rest of this video and future videos regarding the mountain to focus on the details and not necessarily all the time focusing on the structure behind it. So let's take a closer look. You can see here that I've actually been using a whole bunch of these different support pieces. You can find these on some of the pick-a-brick walls at the Lego store. That's where I got mine anyway. And these are good because they hold the thing up pretty well, but they also make it so that you don't have to worry about building out too many bricks on the bottom of the mountain, which is great in my case because my goal is to spend as little money as possible when building this mountain. And pick-a-brick walls are usually a really good way to go if you need bulk bricks anyway. Now, also, you'll notice I have the train track going through here, and I have the engine of my train over here. And that's because I wanted to make sure that it can do all the turns without scraping by any of these posts. And I succeeded with that, but it did take a couple of tries. So that's why the train is over here, and I'll continue to use the train throughout building this mountain to make sure that you can see everything in the mountain won't have any collisions or anything with the train. Now, we're going to turn this around to see the very, let's just say detailed part of this for so far. So this is going to be the Ninjago training area, which is a small section of the mountain that's going to be the lowest portion of the mountain for the most part, that features a bunch of the different buildings from the Ninjago core sets that I own. So we have some of the buildings from the Ninja Brick Box set, and also some other things from the first core wave sets, including this rock formation that now forms a cave, and I built up a bunch of other rock work using the same texturing of using some dark tan plates to represent some dead grass or dirt at the top of each section of the mountain. So here you can see that we've also used a whole bunch of these rock panels. I was able to find these at the pick-a-brick wall as well, and they're great for covering more area, but I would not recommend just using them alone, because if you look what I did here, I've added some bricks and some slopes and some plates to really add to it and merge the big rock panels into the side of the mountain. And so, that's what I did here, and it's another good way to save money if you're working on a mountain. Now, I'm using some bigger rock pieces as well throughout this display, like this tan one here, and there's a gray one back there. Those pieces I had in my collection prior to doing this, and that's another good thing that you can do to save money when you're building these giant mountains, and that is to use the parts from your own collection first. And if you don't have these, you could just use basic bricks to build them up as well. And you can see I've been texturing in some of the dark tan and the dark bluish gray to create the little slope area that you see here. Additionally, I used tan for the majority of the ground because that matches what was on the inside of said cave. And that pretty much does it for what I have here in this section of this mountain project. I have plenty of other different things that I'm going to be doing in future mountain project videos, but that's going to take some time, considering it took me a couple of weeks to put this together alone. So, the planning phase is really what'll get you when you're doing this. And that's one thing I would recommend that you definitely do if you're building a mountain or a big landscaping project out of Lego. You probably want to plan things out in advance and at least have a design to go with before you start putting bricks down. Because if you did have to take all of this apart to go and say move a support beam or move a couple of pieces, it becomes a big task as the mountain gets bigger. And don't worry, this is, as I mentioned, on the lower end of what the mountain will be. We also have a section of mountain that'll be connecting to this area over here. That'll have, I guess you could say, a hot spring area and a waterfall that is basically the source of water for the river in the city. And then we'll be building, eventually, a giant, tall section of mountain here where a dragon's nest will be put on top. So, got plenty of plans for this, but as I said, it'll take some time. But don't worry, I have plenty of other videos coming out in the meantime to keep you guys busy and to at least find some interesting ideas that you might want to try on your own, including a comparison video regarding the combo mechs now that I have both of them, and also a couple of mock reviews I've wanted to do for a while. So those are going to be things you'll see in the future, and then we'll see what this mountain project looks like. And I hope you all enjoyed this video. Stay tuned for all these new videos coming in the near future, and I hope you all have a great day.